We are in the midst of a major change that is taking place in churches today, particularly in North American churches. I grew up in the latter part of the 1900s, and at that point, the major focus of church was sort of to make good church people. And by that I mean that you wanted them to come to the church regularly for worship. You wanted them to get baptized by a certain age. You wanted them to attend a Sunday school, maybe come to fellowship dinners, and maybe serve as an usher or greeter or deacon or something like that. And that was church life, making good church people. But it is shifting into something else that I think is more akin to what Jesus meant when he said, "Go and make disciples," as opposed to make good church people. Now, how that happens is really an exciting endeavor in a lot of churches, because they're finding that it's a broader spectrum than just becoming involved in a church. It involves worship, but not just attendance. It involves engagement, that people want to engage with God, they want to engage with each other, and they want to feel like the worship is a give and take experience. It also is a matter of making disciples, of helping them get connected with other people as well as God. And not just in the sense of going to fellowship dinners or a Sunday school class, all of which are fine, but getting connected in significant and profound ways with other people, in which they learn to be able to be vulnerable, they learn to be able to be accountable to each other, and it's just a whole different level of connection. They also want to get equipped. And that's quite different than what it used to be just going to a Sunday school class. Statistics have shown that Sunday school classes really haven't provided an awful lot of change in people's lives. But they want to get equipped with biblical literacy. They want to have their theology developed. They want to develop some skills with regards to how to serve, how to have interrelationships with other people in better ways. In fact, we have found from studies that people's theological development stops at age 14. And that leaves people very vulnerable as they get older in having a 14-year-old theological viewpoint of the world. Getting equipped in terms of how to serve, getting equipped in terms of how to have good, healthy relationships with each other. It's a large area, but that's part of what it means to be a disciple, and churches are catching on to what that means. They also are needing to learn to serve outside the church much more than they ever did in the last century. It's not a matter of just taking a position in a church or serving as an elder or ushering or greeting, things like that, all of which are important, but it's also going on mission trips, doing work at a homeless shelter or at a food shelter, all those kinds of things that are outside of the building, that are kind of the hands and feet of Jesus to the world. And then beyond that, there's another aspect of evangelism. But it's not what we used to think of as evangelism, in which you would have a Bring a Friend Sunday, or you would have an evangelism kit that you would try, or a program or a committee that would be in charge of all of that. But rather, evangelism takes place when people talk to another person and are honest about what it is that is of value to their life, how God fits in. And people may actually go to another church instead of the one that you go to, and that's okay, because evangelism is getting people connected to God, not just your church. Now, this movement that's taking place right now in countless churches across this country, shifting away from making church people into disciples, is transforming churches as individuals are transformed. And it's a great thing to be a part of.